All right, so we're going to get started. It's important that you guys know that we really try to be on time for these meetings so we could get started early. Started on time at 1 o'clock, so we still got people jumping in. But I'm going to show you this video, which is the walk around videos. We're going to watch a few of these real quick, kind of jump around from screen to screen, and we're going to go from there. Oops. There we go, everybody. 6 of you, and y'all could see the video, right? Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is the 2019 138 horsepower, 1.4-liter twin turbo engine. Comes with a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty and a 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper to bumper warranty. Also,
You guys want to click on that link, click the play button, and mute yourself.
Keep to the engine and we can move one forward, gives you better gas mileage. As you can see, this is where your radiator fluid goes. This is where your brake fluid goes. This is your battery. Right here is where your deposit terminal. Here is where you have your washer fluid. Also, right here is your check oil, and right here, which is where your oil in. Also tells you what you need. This is your air cleaner right here, and this is your high pressure hose for your air conditioning. Right here, this is your entire apparatus for your ABS brake system. This right here is your fuse box in case you ever got to replace the fuses. Now, one thing that this vehicle comes with is you see these indentations inside the hood. All these new vehicles, the design for them is designed so in case you have a front end collision, the gel mounts break, the motor drops slightly to the ground, and all the impact, like an accordion, is taken by the front of the vehicle. Okay? That's just showing you the hood. And not to mention, you'll see these little white stickers that have the VIN number, so every part on the vehicle is covered. Okay? Come around to the passenger side. And this is where you show your customer. Say, okay, Mr. Customer, always one of the things you want to do is push this passenger side seat all the way back. Okay, you can see Ms. Customer, come on in and have a seat here. See all your leg room? Put both feet in there. A lot of leg. Okay. Come on out. Can you get in there? And then this is where you have your power windows, door locks. You have the leather accented door panels. You have a glove compartment here. You have an airbag here. You also have bags here, and you also have your curtain airbags right here. And it also has leather and cloth combination interior. Now, one of the things also you want to do is grab the seat, move it forward, and just lift it up just a little bit. Okay? So now, Ms. Customer, come on back this way. The back end of the vehicle, as you can see, you have one great thing is you have children, is we have child safety locks. So you do is just put this little key in here and turn it, and now nobody can get out of the back. So you're not worried about your children opening up the door and jumping out of the vehicle. So have a seat back here. See how much leg room you have. See? Now one thing, if you take a look at the floor there, you'll see that it has a floor vent. So your air conditioning will come out of the floor vent, even though it's a cool feature because you turn the air conditioning, it'll cool the car down twice as quick. And then also you have a cargo net in that particular area. Come on out. So now, as you're doing the walk around, you're going to close the doors. Close the hood, passenger, and this one. This is where your gas is. So now you have here, it's what they call a touchless filler cap. So you no longer have the old style gas caps that you screw on. Just automatically put the hose in, fill her up, probably about $20, and pull it out, and that's it. You don't have to worry about getting air in your tank or anything else. Plus, God forbid you run out of gas or have a situation, it'll be a lot easier to do. Also, what you have here is you have these LED. Now, most of these LED tail lights, excuse me, they last a very long time. Their lifespan averages is about 15 years. So you don't ever have to usually worry about doing that. But every time you bring your car into service, what you will understand is they check all these things. Every time you do an oil change, rotate your tires, they check all that stuff out. They check all your lights, all your fluids, they top everything off. Okay. Right here is your little cargo area. You have this cargo, what they call like, it's for visibility. So when you close the hatch, nobody can see what you actually have in here. This is removable. Underneath here, you have your spare tire and your toolkit. And believe it or not, you do have a full-size donut. So it is this. Like there in the older days, they used to make the donuts, they were kind of small and the car would kind of ride down the road like one-legged. But now you can have it and it's all electronic. Okay, so this is that, and this comes here. Not to mention you have an easy lift gate that has a nice high opening for taller people. Which all you do is you just touch your knee here, and you see how easy it just opens and lifts up. You have an aerodynamic the LED lights. That is for your Wi-Fi and your OnStar. That's your antenna for that. You have a rear wiper. Now come around to this side, and then also just on the rear bumper, it does have a backup camera and does have a backup sensors. Okay. Now come down to this side. This customer. Okay. As you can see here, plenty of room inside that shows you all the different features. Again, you have a child's lock on this side. These rear seats do fold completely flat. So you can remove the headrest or press the headrest in and lay both seats flat. So it gives you plenty of cargo area. It's about 32 cubic square feet as far as cargo. Come on out. Okay, and also you can see on this side, the driver's side, also have the rear AC vent as well. And you do have the USB ports around as well. Okay. Okay. Also, this customer would come around to this way. Please have a seat in the driver's cockpit area. Now, this is where all the features and benefits are going to come in. As you can see, somebody messed with our seat. It has a lumbar. Okay, there we go. A little bit more comfortable. Now, this particular Encore comes with the auto lights feature right here. You can hear it dinging. Okay. It also has leave it on auto whenever you're getting in and out of the car because it has remote start. You know, you can just use that feature. Also has all the steering wheel controls, has your cruise control, your radio volume, your phone volume. So when you hook your phone up to the car, it's automatically going to download all your contacts. So when you're using the feature, you don't ever have to take your eyes off the road. Everything can be done with your thumbs right to steering wheel control. In here, and it opens and lifts up. Of course, you have an aerodynamic spoiler with the LED lights. That is for your Wi-Fi and your OnStar. That's your antenna for that. You have a rear wiper. Now come around to this side. And then also just on the rear bumper, it does have a backup camera and does have a backup sensors. Okay. Now come down to this side. This customer. Mama's customer. Okay, as you can see here, you have plenty of room inside. It shows you all the different features. Again, you have a child's lock on this side. These rear seats do fold down completely flat. So you can remove the headrest or press the headrest in, both seats flat. So it gives you plenty of cargo area. It's about 32 cubic square feet as far as cargo. Come on out. Okay, and also you can see on this side, the driver's side, you also have the rear AC vent just as well. And you do have the USB ports around as well. Okay, okay. And also this customer would come around to this way. Please have a seat in the driver's cockpit area. Now this is where all the features and benefits are going to come in. As you can see, somebody messed with our seat. It has a lumbar. Okay, here we go, a little bit more comfortable. And this particular Encore comes with the auto dimming right here. You can hear it dinging. Okay. It also has leave it on auto whenever you're getting in and out of the car, because it has remote start, you know, you can just use that feature. Also has all the steering wheel controls, has your cruise control, your radio volume, your phone volume. So when you hook your phone up to the car, it's automatically going to download all your contacts. So when you're using the feature, you don't ever have to take your eyes off the road. Everything can be done with your thumbs right to steering wheel control. You have an 8-inch touchscreen, which I'm going to show you now, and all the features in here. So I'm going to hop around to the other side, and I'll see you in just a second. Remote detected. Press on the brake. Okay, that looked cute. That's all right. So now I'm going to do is I'm going to close the door on her, and I'm going to go around to the passenger side. See, here's the key. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to come around to the passenger side. All right, and I'm going to open now. Just hold the foot on the brake. The car starts and roll down. Okay, so now you screen, and so before you do that, when you sit in the car with the customers, this is the part where you're going to benefits of everything in the car. Now, what I do is I close the door and I put my seatbelt on, and then now, as demonstration purposes, if you would, Miss Customer, step your foot on the brake. Obviously, it has remote park. Step your foot on the brake again. Okay, now go ahead and shift this really slowly inside. Okay. Now, once you do that, and you see how smooth you see how smooth the shifting is. That's how you start off to go on your demo drive. Okay, and that's how you do the walk.
All right. Everybody able to see that video? Yep. Okay. Hopefully better than what I've given you over here. I'm going to try to fix the screen a second. Let's see. Let's just try to go. Okay. Gonna watch one more. Should be coming up. Here it comes.
I'm going to go over the 2000.
You guys go ahead and do that one.
Toyota Camry. Okay, I'm not sure what model it is, but again.
Can you guys see that on the screen?
Because this isn't product knowledge.
George, if you could see it.
So, Dan, if you would you be my customer? Sure. Be mean, all right? Don't be mean. All right. So this is a 2000, Mr. Dan, this is a 2020 Toyota Camry. Has a 3.5 liter V6 engine. Right here is this is your battery. This is your negative terminal.
Don't quote me on my product knowledge because this isn't product knowledge. This is just about the experience of doing a walk. So, Dan, if you would you be my
Hey,
customer?
you gotta mute your stuff, please.
This is your air induction. It goes right here. This is where your washer fluid goes. This is your radiator overflow. And this bright orange thing right here is your dipstick for your oil. So, on the new 2020 Camry, right here, this glass emblem This is part of your Toyota safety sense that you have. Not to mention the beautiful aerodynamically redesigned grille that has a lot of air reduction, helps the vehicle run nice and cool. You have the beautiful headlights that as you turn, they come with you. You also have the Explorer and totally redesigned look. So also not to mention, this tag right here, you guys look, this will tell you what the vehicle is. It'll also tell you what the motor size and everything is, as well as this one tells you air conditioning. This gives you your service advisor information. So now we're going to close the hood, right? And now this also is a bug reflector that this dealership puts on every vehicle. It doesn't just show. That's an issue. All right. So now we're done. So we can on this side. All right. So this beautiful Camry is done with the new blood red leather interior. As you can see, it has an incredible amount of leg and head. And I know you're an extremely super tall guy. What are you about? Let's see, stand next to me. What are you about? 6'5", 6'6", something around there? Something like that. Something like that. Go ahead and have a seat right here. As you can see here, see how much leg room you have for a guy your size? Right? See how you have the beautiful red leather and new stitching that we have. Over here, you have your speaker, your door handle, your window right here. You have passenger and driver's cup holder, which are heated. It's hot and cold. And you can see we also have one for your seat. Now come on out of there, Mr. Dan. Okay. Now I'm going to pull the seat up, right? Because I pulled it all the way back. So now I'm going to pull the seat all the way up. And also you can talk about it in this Camry. Beautiful interior, and it's got suede and leather. It's really something nice. So now I'm going to close this door. Mr. Dan, let's take a look at this window sticker. Okay, right over here. As you can see, this is a 2020 Toyota Camry, right? And this is the 5-star rating on as far as the crash test results concerned. In every single category: driver, passenger, side, front and rear seats, and rollover. 5 stars in every possible way. So you know you're buying a car that's 100% safe. Here, right here, you can see the 6.5-liter 4-cylinder engine. Gives you the 208 horsepower. I'm going to put down the 4. This is your safety and convenience package. These are the extra features in your interior, your interior. Your miles per gallon are right here. This particular car gets 27 miles per gallon in the city and 38 miles per gallon in the highway on average. Okay, so in other words, 3.2 gallons per 100 miles is what you're actually running. You can see it has your state emissions, and over here, this is the extra equipment that is installed by Toyota, which on this SXE package, this is what it comes with. All you can see these particular features, and obviously this is the total price of the vehicle. Now here at our Toyota dealership, we have a couple of different options that we do, like wheel locks, window tint, and business shield, which is what I showed you on the front of the vehicle, right? So the actual photo of this vehicle is right here. The window sticker will give you all this information, right? So now, coming around to the back, if you would please have a seat in the back seat for me. Has a lot of leg room, doesn't it? Really does. Also, here, see what's back? You have an airbag right here. You have a side airbag here, and you have the front airbag right here. So this vehicle is really, not only is it incredibly fuel efficient, not to mention that the safety comfort is unbelievable. So come on out of there, Mr. Dan. Now, one thing I want to show you here is also, if you have small children, or if you have adult children, get out of here. You can click this little button here. Okay. Now, come on around to the back of the vehicle. As you can tell, you have beautiful LED tail lights. You can tell we have the dual exhaust system on each side. Back here, we have your trunk where you can lift this up, and you have your spare tire kit. Not to mention, you lift up this little foam plate, and there you got a full spare. Full-size tire, not just a donut. But if you look at the amount of trunk space you have, it's tremendous. Now here also, you have these little fold tabs, so you fold these down, and both rear seats will fold down flat. So you get an incredible amount of cargo You are married, Mr. Dan, is that correct? Okay. Just in case your wife decides to lock you in the trunk, get the full little handle here that has a little glow in the dark handle, you can pop out and it's stays in the house. All right? Beautiful spoiler, everything is done in the black accents, all through your SXC, back here and right here. This little camera is your backup camera. So we have the little button right there is your backup camera. So if you would come around this side, and you can see we have these beautiful 18-inch wheels with ventilated disc brakes. So the more air that goes in there, the actual better braking system you have, and sure the brake dust, it cools down the rear here. You can see also in the back area here, how we have the vents, the rear AC vents. But a lot of vehicles, believe it or not, even though it's a car, just turn on the air conditioning and you forget about the back seats. But there's actually three. So you have one under each seat, which is a little vent, blow air, and also the ones right in the middle. So the rear seat will cool down just as quick as the front. And also this is done in a beautiful pearl white color. So if you would, Mr. Dan, have a seat right here in the front seat for me. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to go around to the passenger seat and show you all the features and benefits and stuff. Is that okay with you? All right, I'm going to come around to this side. So now, this seat back just a little bit. And the car is running, and the air conditioning is. You want to make sure that when you're butterflying the vehicle, the most important thing, when you pull the car out of one space, that you butterfly it, which is open all the doors, everything, turn the air conditioning on 100%, so it's lasting cold air, because obviously here in Texas, it's a little hot. Yes, the car is running the entire time. So now, I'm going to adjust it, and then I'm going to, since the car's not running, I'm not doing it, but I'm going to put on my seatbelt with my customer, and then now I'm going to start explaining all the features and benefits of the vehicle inside. Now, also, since we've gone through and I've spent about 20 minutes talking about the features and benefits inside the vehicle, all the different things, the next thing we want to do is, Dan, if you would please press your foot hard on the brake, okay? And if you would, grab that shifter handle and put it in drive for me. You feel how smooth that is? Oh, nice and smooth. Now you can start talking about the transmission and different technology. And Mr. Dan, since we're ready to drive, just go ahead and make a left and let's go on our best. And that's how you do the walk around. But you're going to be doing it in extreme detail. So it should take you somewhere between 40 and 45 minutes, 100% to explain everything. You're going to spend about 20 minutes talking about the outside. And when you're starting in the front of the vehicle, that's where you want to talk about warranty, the horsepower, the torque, some of the safety rating features, and as much features and benefits about the motor compartment safety as you learn in your Toyota University. Then you want to spend about 20 minutes on the inside in a nice cool atmosphere or a nice warm atmosphere, depending on the climate, talking about everything inside the vehicle in very much detail before you get on the test drive. Now, once you get on the test drive, this part, you can stop talking about the car, and that's where you're going to build rapport and a personal relationship with that customer. And talk about, what happened to the Astros last night, what happened in World Series Game 1. But we do have 2 tonight, so we're lucky. All right, so that's it. So I'm going to let you guys get started and do your thing.
All right, we got one more I want to watch is the 19 Charger. So hopefully you guys start getting an idea of what I'm talking about. Don't look at my product because it probably sucks, so don't judge me. A lot of stuff I was just making up. You're going to be doing it for real here shortly. Give it a second, it'll start. If it's on your side, go ahead and start it, and just make sure everybody's muted so we don't get it coming through. And then we're going to talk about the walk around in a second. Talk about the silent trade walk around. Okay. So, Ruben Leal, if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. I don't know why this thing is not starting. Let's try it again. Sometimes our internet connections aren't the best up here. Let me try the link one more time.
We're thrilled about having the opportunity.
See, and hopefully you get to see national walk around competition for Ford. This is a great video. I like it a lot.
We're
Hopefully it
thrilled about
pulls up.
having the opportunity of being a part of the growth of your business. I put together a brief presentation of our 26 Transit Wagon Trim-Up XLT.
This isn't a commercial. This is real kids. Give it up.
Wow, that's only 11 seconds to easily exit vehicle. Let's assume you prefer your business to have the capability of carrying even more passengers. The Transit Wagon in the long and extended wheelbase offers passenger seating for up to 15 people. That's 3 more than the Nissan N. Now, as we step inside here, you'll notice that I have an inflatable air mattress that serves as an example for our industry first micro side curtain airbag. It's our largest airbag ever at nearly 15 feet long and 3 feet tall. It works in conjunction with our safety panel system, which is designed to protect your occupants' necks and heads in the event of a side impact or rollover collision, deploying a fraction. It's only airbag of its kind, and it's standard. Now, as you step down using the e-running board, you'll find here another industry first. You have Ford's new 2-wet monocolor paint using a prime protection followed by a color code application that has similar properties to a clear coat, eliminating the need for that third step. It's been tested for resistance against scratching, chipping, and oxidation, maintaining 90% of the paint's original gloss over 4 years, giving your business a strong impression to your clients for several years to come. At the back of the wagon, we have 180-degree locking rear doors, with an available 237-degree magnetic locking rear doors, giving you easy access to the cargo area, allowing your clients the easy benefit of loading and unloading their luggage and personal items. Now, as I step inside, you'll notice that this Transit is the medium roof. I'm 5'6". My clearance is just fine. However, the Transit wagon offers an even higher roof level, giving your clients the ease of easy entry and exit without having to worry about bumping their heads, whether they're 5'6" or 6'4". Now, as we make our way around to the driver's area, is the location of your lean system. Cap system, which is tamper resistant, as well as with access only available with the driver's door open, giving you peace of mind and efficient fuel time at the pump. Now, as we step inside, you'll notice here we have our new Sync 3 communications and entertainment system. It features enhanced voice recognition. For example, please say Bluetooth audio. Jeez, you just met already with the Carlton Banks jokes? Back to the smartphone tablet-like interface design. It has AppLink that gives you the ability to control your phone's application using voice recognition or buttons. It even has a voice-activated navigation system as well. Standard, we have a backup camera with a zoom-in function that's unavailable on the Chevy Express, whereas the Mercedes Sprinter van requires the driver efficiency package, roughly a $1,500 upgrade for must-have safety and convenience, especially in the line of work that you do. Now, as we make our way back up front to the motor, you'll find that Ford offers a flexible powertrain lineup of 3 motors, 2 gasolines, and 1 diesel. Whereas the Mercedes only offers 2 diesels, we give you the benefit of choosing what type of fuel you want to use in your vehicle in an uncertain fuel market. We offer a naturally aspirated 3.7-liter V6, a 3.2-liter inline 5-cylinder Power Stroke diesel, and Ford's franchise player, the twin-turbo EcoBoost 3.5-liter V6, featuring a best-in-class 400 foot-pounds of torque, 310 horsepower at 2,200 and 5,500 RPMs respectively. That's 75 foot-pounds and 122 horsepower more than the V6 diesel that Mercedes has. For reliability, you have Ford's oil life monitoring system that calculates your oil change interval services based on actual vehicle use and operating conditions. With this level of flexibility, capability, design, and safety, I'm sure that there's a Transit available for you.
Video 10. Otherwise, it's 45 minutes. Sorry, we're having bad internet connection again. Oh. So anyway, the whole point, as we said, get everybody going here. So anyway, as we were talking about the whole, why am I getting the screen that looks like this? Okay. Getting back to what we were talking about. So everybody was able to see those 3 videos? Any thumbs up? Okay, good. All right. So when you're doing a workaround, just like you, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. So, the walk around is what we call your presentation. So you need to watch these a couple of more times because this is the most important part about your job all the way around. Okay. Everything comes down to what we call the sizzle. The sizzle is the product. the Toyota product or whatever product it is the star of the show. It's not us, it's not the dealership or anything else, it is the product. So as your product knowledge gains, your presentation, the presentation is going to be the most important part. All these videos are on the YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe today. And I'm going to put it in the link here. In this. I'm sorry, here we go. So that is the YouTube channel, okay, for future reference. So please subscribe to it so I can count you, and then also you will watch those videos which are called walk-arounds or vehicle presentations. That is everything going to be. So you're going to, again, just like the videos do, you're going to start in the front, you're going to work your way around the passenger side up until the front and get into the driver's side and do the things that are there. So it's very, very important that you watch these a couple of times so you understand what the pattern is. Because I'm not doing it live with you, this is a bit more difficult to do. Just like we were doing the guest sheet and the meet and greet, we'll get through it too. But what I'm going to ask you to do is between now and Thursday, what I would like you to do is study one particular product, get as much information as possible, and do a vehicle walk around on your own car. So put your car in the video and pretend like you're going to do a walk around live with a customer. If you could get another person to do it with you and pretend they're a customer, that would be great. If you can't, do it by yourself and do the walk around of the entire vehicle. Okay?
Are these videos in the playlists just so we can go look on the YouTube?
Yes, and they're not only people's too. So whatever walk-arounds you see that are out there, once you go on YouTube, it's okay to look at other ones too. There's probably a couple of hundred of them, but I like you to the ones that I do walk-arounds are a little bit more in detail than some of the other ones. There's a guy on there. I was going to show the link, but the internet connection is really bad. So there's one, the guy does a Toyota Tundra, and he's really in depth on that Tundra. And that's the thing is, when you're doing this presentation, it's not just showing somebody something. You have to really dig down and dig deep into this whole, okay? You have to get nitty gritty into the whole deal. So, you know, when you're talking about the motor and the transmission, you really got to talk about the motor and the transmission. You want to talk about the horsepower, the torque, how it's made, what the variable timing control means. You know, when you're talking about Toyota safety, excuse me, you got to break that down and get that into detail. When you're talking about stuff on the interior, like Apple CarPlay, you got to break all that stuff down into serious detail when you're doing it. This process is supposed to, and it's designed to take 40 to 45 minutes. So you're negotiating with the car as far as the math and the money is concerned, whether it has to do with credit or interest rate or whatever it is. That's about a 15-minute deal. If you're negotiating with a customer, then your presentation wasn't any good. So it's all about that presentation and the detail that has to go with it. So I know I'm repeating myself, but I can't stress how important that is. Nothing else matters. When you're doing these videos, if you talk to somebody on the phone, right, and you send them your 15-second introduction video, and then now you send them that product video of a quick walk around or whatever that was, now they're going to be very, very much a character to you. You guys got to mute your stuff, please. And if for some reason they're not captive audience, it's because it's you. It's not anything else to do with it. Okay, 100%. So that walk around, that particular presentation is so important. So sorry that the internet's so bad, but I wanted to show you a couple more of the other walkarounds. I'm losing you all video one by one. But we'll get through it and get it done. So it's okay to go online, pull up the YouTube, pull up my channel that I have. No, if you see Tony Swedberg, absolutely do not touch that with a 10-foot pole. The guy is, the advice that he gives on there is terrible. Stay away from that. Do not do that. Other training videos, I'll let you know at the end of the day, like we use here. We use Grant Cardone, which is good, and there'll be other trainers you'll be able to get on with. But we're way, ahead of the game there. First, we're going to get through the presentation and butterfly and what we're doing there first. Okay, so do not use Tony Swedberg. Not a good idea. Okay,
Question.
I'm recommending you not to do it. Okay, just please mute your audios. Some of you are coming back on live. I may try to do another walk around here, see if we could pull it back up. So hang on one second, since we look like we might be getting our internet back here.
And Don, are we supposed to be seeing those YouTube videos through your screen?
Yeah, you should be able to pull it up. I want to try to find this other Toyota one that I did. Here's the one.
Just a
So
heads
hang
up,
on a second.
I'm getting the link in the chat, but then when I'll play it on the YouTube video on the chat, but then it's competing with the audio. So we're just getting audio from your feed and no video.
Okay, let's try, and let's see if we can do this. You should turn this link on.
Yeah, I would say if it could be more effective if you could just mute yours and we could watch it here, because we're getting the audio through to yours and the video simultaneously.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So and you don't even, yeah, you could just mute yours and we could play it in the chat. Hey, Don, you're still, Don, you're still muted. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So everybody get that? Everybody able to watch it? Hopefully. Just hit me in the chat. Just put yes, so I know you got it. So, like I was saying, you could watch a lot of these, but the most important thing about your job is to actually do this presentation correctly and fully. Just like you've watched some of these professionals, this kid that just did the Tundra, the kid that did the Ford van, the white bald guy that looks just like me, or all of them. You know, you got to really kind of dig down, because this is the most important part about the job itself. You got to think about details and how, you know, and the cool factor that goes with it. The one thing I liked about the kid that did the Tundra is, you know, he talked about the service department, the parts department. You know, you could bring all that stuff into your presentation. All of it's got to go. This is like doing a gigantic PowerPoint without the PowerPoint. And this is showing every feature and benefit that this vehicle has in every way, shape, or form. That's why it's so grossly important to do, because this is everything. This is the difference of when, remember, we were talking about my pen. So, you know, with the difference of it being $100 or versus it being $1,000, that's basically it. And that's all you got to do. If you follow the process and the steps that are in the road to a sale, okay, and do the presentation the right way, your closing ratio will be super high. There's no reason for it not to be. So any questions about that? Let's have a quick conversation about it. Because when people talk about buying time, your buying time is about 2 hours per vehicle. That's about the normal. So it's going to take you roughly, you know, 10 to 15 minutes to do your guest sheet. It's going to take you about 45 minutes in that neighborhood to do a walk around. Then you got about another 15 minutes that rolls into the demo drive, and then maybe 10 minutes in the service department. Then the rest of your time is spent at the finance department and the delivery of the vehicle. So there really is no reason for you, if you did your job correctly, to spend any more than 2 hours with a customer that's going to buy. So that's what you can expect. That's why some people can sell 3 or 4 cars in a day, because they have the steps down correctly, They do the presentation 100% right. Any questions about this or any comments? Adam Schultz, any comments from you or Ali, or ask them now? Anybody in the room? Got it down? Okay.
So whenever we do like the tour of the service department, how does that kind of go? Just like he did in that Tundra video, do you just talk about it, or do you actually take them over there and do all of that?
No, that's a good question. That was.
Yes.
Okay. So yes. So what happens is the step is once now you've selected the vehicle, you've done your presentation on the lot, right? Excuse me. A demo drive. So that means you and the customer are going to get in the car, you're going to drive it around. And then when you're pulling back into lot, the very first step that you go to is to the service department. You're going to pull in the service drive, and they have booths that are set up there. Just like if you've ever been to a service department, I'm sure most of you have. The service riders that come out, they're basically the salespeople for the service department. So what's going to happen is you're going to introduce your customer. Maybe the car will be running, put the driver's window down, get out of the car with your customer, introduce them to the service manager or the service advisor, and then they're going to keep them for about 3 minutes and just, tell them their thing about our service department. And then once you're done with them there, then you're going to get back in the car. You're going to pull the car up front. And during that particular time, that's when we come up with the trial close. And what you're going to say to them, and you could use this word track or record it or whatever you want, but you could say, hey, Adam, based on everything that you saw, if all the facts and figures work out to your benefit, will you be buying this vehicle right now today? And that's going to be a closing and qualifying question. And I would say it like that because now he saw that you asked him what kind of vehicle he wanted. He told you, you went and saw it, you demoed it, you did the vehicle presentation on it. Now they met the service department. You're closing all the doors. So now the last thing for him to do is commit or say, yeah, I want to buy this vehicle. So you got to ask that trial close question. Regardless of what the answer is, yes or no, you're going to pull the vehicle up front. You're going to come back inside, and now you're going to sit down with the customer. And this is where now you've gone from the walk around to the demo drive. Now you're going to do the silent trade because 8 out of 10 people have a trade-in. Now what the silent trade is going to be is basically going to be us going out to their vehicle and them selling the vehicle to us, just like we're selling ours to them. Oh, excuse me. Give me the yawn. I guess I'm boring sorry. So that part of it, one thing you guys got to remember, okay, is don't ever demean somebody's trade-in. I don't care if the doors are duct tape shut together and the vehicle's got 400,000 miles on it, looks like hell. It doesn't matter. You never talk negative about somebody's car. So what happens is you're going to go out to the vehicle, and these are particular steps. The training platform here.
And Don, can you say that closing line again? What'd you say about asking them if they were going to purchase it that day?
Yep.
Hey, Don, another question. When do they exactly meet the service manager? They meet them, do they meet them like when they're about to buy the car, like financing the car, or they meet them after the test drive? You're on mute, Don.
Don, you're muted.
I don't think you can hear us.
There we go.
Okay. What do you guys see on your screen? Do you see the phrase?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Answer your question again.
So when exactly do they meet the service manager again? Do they meet them after the sale? Do they meet them before the sale? Or they meet them like after the test drive?
When you're talking about,
Yeah.
okay, as you see here, you see the road to a sale here. We'll call it the Bible. You guys can see that on your screen?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so you see the first step is the meet and greet, the second is the customer interview, the manager, the next thing is selecting the proper vehicle. The fifth one is the presentation. So after the presentation, then we take the demo drive. When we come back from the demo drive, you're going to pull into the parking lot of the dealership, just you're going to pull straight into the service department. So the service tour, as we call it, or the introduction to the service manager is right after the demo drive. It's the end of your demo drive, right? Because you guys put around, you cruise, you're hot rodding it a little bit. Now it's time to go back to the store. You're not pulling to the front of the lot or back into a parking spot. You're driving straight into the service department and going to meet one of the service managers.
Okay.
After that, that's when you ask the trial close, say, hey, Mr. Based upon all the information that you've received so far, if all the facts and figures work out to your benefit, are you ready to buy the vehicle right now today? That's what you want to know. Okay? That's how you want to ask. Skip the first part. All you got to say is, let's say you're talking to Zach. Say, hey, Zach, if all the facts and figures work out to your benefit, are you ready to buy this vehicle right now today?
Of course.
Okay. That's how that goes. Now, the next step is obviously the meet and greet. Let's see if we get down here. Interview the trade-in. Okay, so what to do is you're interviewing the trade. So the trade basically is going to be, hey, we know what you're currently driving because you asked that in the guest sheet. We know we're going to be trading it in. We're going to know if it was purchased or used. Now what you could do is now you could start asking these questions. What's the one thing you liked about your old car? And call it their old car. Because so to start getting them into the mindset of being in their new car. If anything, what changes or improvements are you looking for in your new vehicle? You know, what didn't you like about your old car? Anything else? What improvements do you want in your new car? Those are kind of questions you want to ask. But we're going to get into the trade part, which we know about these questions, which we always ask them. But one of the things that we want to ask when you're doing a silent trade walk around, this is kind of hard to do. I apologize. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I apologize. But one of the things when you're looking at their car, here's how the steps go. So I want everybody to write this down so that you're not going to see it on the screen. So the first thing is you're going to grab the keys with the customer and you're going to tell them when they're sitting at your desk because you're back from the demo driving and say, okay, George, let's go take a look at your vehicle and do me a favor, and tell me everything about your car. Now, when you go up to it, you're going to want to almost butterfly it like you did the new car. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to tell, hey, George, do me a favor, start the car and turn the air conditioning on full blast and read me the exact mileage. Number one, you're going to know whether the air conditioning in the trade-in works or not. Number two, you're going to get them to read off the exact mileage of the car because it just came out of 1 at 0 is going to make a big difference, right? And three, now you can start asking them closing questions. Number one, let's just say if they're driving a Nissan, for example, you want to ask them, so have you done all your oil changes and all of your required maintenance at a local Nissan dealership or Ford, Chevy, whatever? They're going to have an answer for you. It's going to be yes or no. Wherever they say, you need to write it down. Okay. So did you do, let's say the car's got 75,000 miles. You want to ask them because it goes in 30,000 mile increments. Okay, George, did you do the 30,000 mile service on this car? No, you didn't? Okay, that's fine. Did you do the 60,000 mile service? No, you didn't. Okay. Well, have you done the 100,000 mile service where you change the timing belt, flush all the fluids and all that? Have you done that yet, George, on your Nissan at a local Nissan dealer? No, you haven't done any of the car? Okay, great. And where have you been changing your oil? You said you didn't go to Nissan. Where have you been going? Jiffy Lube, Walmart, whatever? Okay, great. You want to write that down. So the tires on your car, just out of curiosity, did you put new tires on the car? When's the last time you changed them out since your car's got 100,000 miles? Never? Okay, great. You never did that either. Okay. Now what you're going to do is after you ask about the maintenance, oil changes, and those questions, now you're going to start looking at the vehicle. But this is the key factor. Every dent and every scratch, you don't want to bring them up. What you want to do is you want to touch them with your hands. So in other words, if this is the car and there's a scratch on it right here, I'm going to touch it and just kind of rub it like that a little bit so the customer brings up a comment. And you're going to point out, not talk about every dent, every scratch on that car. If it's got faded headlights, a cracked windshield, whatever. If they smoked, 10 cartons of cigarettes inside the car. If there's ashes, garbage, is the seat torn, there's a cigarette burns, whatever. You're never going to physically get, oh, wow, Adam, I see you got a whole bunch of cigarette burns everywhere. No, you're not going to say that. What you're going to do is you're just going to touch them with your finger and write them down. And you're going to walk around the whole entire vehicle that way. And what I'm going to ask you is in your video, your next one of your videos is I want you to do a silent trade walk around on your own car. And if you can use another person to help you, a spouse, a friend, a child, whatever, that'd be great. However it is, whatever you want to do would be good. And I want you to title it Silent Trade Walk Around. And do a walk around on your vehicle and see what your vehicle is like. Look at all the different stuff. But I want to see you touching things and interacting with that particular video and do the walk around. And if you're by yourself and you can't do it or you don't have transportation, whatever it is, that's fine. We're not looking to make this difficult for anybody, but I like you to try and do that because we can't physically do it together. I want to see that you know what you're doing or you know how to do it anyway, or at least make a good attempt at it. Okay? So between now and Thursday, I want to make sure that you have that video done.
And Don, how much typically on these trade-ins under retail do they typically offer clients?
We never, ever offer clients retail value for their car.
That's what I'm asking is how much typically underneath retail are we offering?
It depends because normally what we do is whatever and every dealer does this, whatever the current wholesale value of the vehicle is, that's what we'll offer less any reconditioning. As a normal rule of thumb, let's say a vehicle is worth, not retail, wholesale is worth $10,000. We're typically, depending on the condition, going to be $2,000 to $3,000 back of that. And that's pretty standard industry-wise because we really don't know what we're getting into. So if we offered you retail for your car and then we had to spend $2,000 in reconditioning on the vehicle, now we're $2,000 over retail, and we have to make a profit. So
how do we gauge wholesale prices versus retail?
it's very easy. So there are 3 different platforms that everybody uses. Number one, for wholesale, we use current market report averages. This is a conglomeration of all the different, let's just say we take a 2012 Nissan Altima. So we look at the market report for this region, which is the Southeast region. And based upon the mileage of the vehicle, what the average auction price is. And then we look at what the NADA average trade-in value is. So normally what we do is we take 2 current market reports and then we take a average trade-in and a below average trade-in value, and we add those four together, and then we average them out in our computer program, and that gives us an average current market value of the car. And then we usually go whatever we guess what the reconditioning cost is going to be for that vehicle. Because when we say average, that means that car's up to par. And then typically the retail value runs $3,000 to $5,000 above that wholesale value on a typical basis. Some are more and some are less. It just depends. But the used car market for a dealership, a name brand dealership, is a very, very strong income producing asset, especially for us, because our salespeople make a lot of money off the used car market, off used cars. The customers get a great deal because most of the depreciation is taken out. And if it's a up to 1 to 7 year old Toyota product, we can add a Toyota wraparound warranty and offer the people a better warranty than a car came with when it was brand new. And we it. So when we recondition a vehicle, I'll give you a perfect example. Let's take CarMax, Carvana, Texas Direct. Okay, none of them are Tex, because if they did, they'd be working at Toyota. None of them do any kind of reconditioning to the vehicle. Matter of fact, for at least 9 years, Texas Direct didn't even have a service department. And most of the time, CarMax, when they do an inspection, they make sure the car is sellable. They do not recondition their vehicles. Carvana is another one. Only thing they do is, from what I've seen, is clean it. They don't inspect it. They don't do anything. So you're spending your average retail money on a non-reconditioned, non-looked after vehicle. When you go to a dealership, we are regulated by the manufacturer and the government and all the state agencies. So when we get a car in here, it goes back to our service department, and our regular techs can't touch it. It has to be to a dedicated master tech that goes to that vehicle goes to. So when it does, we pull all four wheels. We all the brakes. If the brakes are 50%, they will be replaced. If the tires are 50%, they will be replaced. There's no cracked windshields, no dings, no dents. We flush all the systems, all the fluids. If the car's close to 100,000 miles, we're going to change the timing belt. We're going to service the transmission. Everything from that car. It will get anywhere from 120 to a 200-point safety inspection on a vehicle from bumper to bumper. And then we're going to recondition it to make it look brand new. And then that master tech or that mechanic is going to sign off on that car and that ticket, certifying it, saying it is better than roadworthy. It's like a new car, but it's used. And then, and only then, are we allowed to put it on our used car lot and sell it. But that's why you will pay a little bit more money for the vehicle going through a franchise dealership than you would anywhere else, because the vehicle's in better condition.
And let me say this too, Don. I noticed that CarMax, Texas Direct, and Carvana are charging anywhere from like minimum $2 to $3 grand over retail on all of their cars, just based on that name, and people kind of having confidence buying there because they think that they are doing a higher quality inspection or repair.
Yes, and that's a good point. And the fact is that is not true. They don't inspect or do anything to their vehicles. And Texas Direct, which is now Zoom, filed bankruptcy a year ago because they've had so many returns and so many complaints and so many problems. They're trying to climb out of that. But you take a company like Carvana, just to give you an idea. Okay, we sell, and you saw this in your presentation on Friday. We sell 52 million vehicles a year out of the franchise dealerships and used car dealerships that are part of the franchises, okay? I'd like you, this is going to be a quiz, so you guys can tell me, what do you think the retail return is? In other words, somebody buys a car, and within the first 7 days, they return it to the dealership to give it back. So I ask everybody in the classroom and everybody online, type in your response in the trash. What do you think the percentage of return is? You think it's 5%, 10%, 1%, 30%? What do you think the rate of return is? So type it into the chat right now, please. And you guys, if you can be on the chat, do it. If not, participate. Okay?
And Don, is used car sales and new car sales separate, or we kind of flow back and forth? How does that work?
In a lot of dealerships, they're separate, and some dealerships, they just kind of flow together. Here, they just kind of flow together.
Okay, great.
Well, it looks like we got some pretty smart people on board. I'm getting 2%, 12%, 1%, 5%, 3%, 7%, 6%, some 10, 5, 1. A lot of great answers. The answer is the national average is 1.6%. Okay? 1.6% is the answer. Okay. That's what the national rate of return is in the first 7 days. And it's less than 0.5% that has to do with the product. It's more has to do with the money. Now, any of you tell me when it comes to CarMax and Carvana, actually Carvana is the heavier one, what the rate of return is at Carvana? Type in your response.
And was the 1.6%, is that for major retailers or Toyota only?
No, all retailers across all lines. Ford,
Okay.
Chevy, Dodge, everybody, Toyota. So type in your response of what you think Carvana's rate of return is.
Yeah, these are actually really great selling points, because you don't want to just be, throwing out BS to get people. But if they're really not doing as much diligence as we are, then the customer is going to end up having to deal with it.
Oh, yeah. So the rate of return for Carvana is 22% compared to the rest of the industry.
Do you have the numbers for CarMax or Texas Direct as well?
Yes, Texas Direct is at 17% and CarMax is at 21%. And their own Texas is because they normally, no matter what you do not take the car back. They take the car back because they get sued. So their 17% includes all their lawsuits to make them take the vehicle back per the judge. They don't, because when you buy a car there, it's a final sale no matter what.
And Texas Direct blew up. I mean, their company grew really rapidly. I'm surprised they didn't just kind of reinvest in looking after those cars a bit better, because they made a lot of money.
Well, that's because they sold it to Zoom.
Okay.
Because there's Mike, and Sean who owned it, who started it almost 15 years ago. And their claim to fame and their success was this. All they did was mark up the cars $1,200. They did absolutely no service whatsoever. They didn't change. They did nothing. They cleaned it. They put it online, marked it up $1,250, put it up on, and they had $250 worth of negotiating room to sell it, and that was it. And that's how they sold their cars. And they let everybody know, we don't service them, we don't touch them, we don't pull a Carfax, we don't have any idea about the hit. This is what you're buying. And then their biggest claim to fame was, so that's how they grew their volume fast so much, is by buying across the street and then convincing you to buy theirs. They're yours. They're good salespeople. But since they sold they sold everything to Vroom practiced that, they've kind of taken the business model and turned to something different. And that's why its success rate is starting to crater and they have such a high rate of return. Carvana, decided to put vehicles in a vending machine, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life. Because one thing you can't take out of this factor is you can't take the human factor out of this deal. Because what happens is the reason why they got the highest rate of return in the whole industry is because you think it's cool. You buy this little BMW for 10 or 12 grand online. It shows up to your house. It looks great in pictures. And then when you get it, you're like, man, this thing's a piece of shit. The door panels got cracks in the air conditioning. There's all kinds of problems with it. And then they return the vehicle.
Yeah.
Because they have a return policy.
Just the way that kind of business model is set up did seem like it was kind of like, how many people are really going to purchase, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 vehicle without getting hands on? And then, like you're saying, it shows up and I don't want scratches on my leather if I'm paying 30 grand.
No, I wouldn't $10,000 or $5,000 on a vehicle online unless I physically saw it, touched it, and could test it. The difference is you come to a place like this that's been in business sell thousands of vehicles every single month and has a 5-star rating, and their mechanics make $100,000 a year or more just to check out and make sure they're mechanically sound and perfect. You're truly paying for what you're getting at that point, because you're going to buy a used vehicle in near perfect condition. Not going to be perfect, but in near perfect condition that it could be. I know personally, if I'm going to pay, if there's a $1,000 difference or a $1,500 difference between the two vehicle lines, if I'm going to buy a car at CarMax, for which they sell everything at Kelley Blue Book retail, which is the highest retail number in the industry, it's about $1,500 higher than any other book we have. And they sell all their cars for Kelley Blue Book retail. They better for sure the technical qualifications that my Master Tech has, regardless of where it's at. And the answer to that question is no, they don't.
I've been to CarMax a few times and they're not even wiping scuffs. Like they're not even taking time to wipe down the damn cars. Like they sell them so quick.
Well, the whole thing is when it comes to used cars, yes, they are used cars for mile long. But you know what? If I'm buying one, it's new to me. May not be new to you, but it's new to me. And I want to have it in the most perfect condition I can. Because if I'm buying a car for a kid, the last thing I want to do is put them in a vehicle and then, 2 weeks later have it break down and have my child or spouse or stuck on the side of the road. That doesn't work. And not to mention the warranties that you can buy from a dealership, whether it's Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Toyota, or whoever, are not the same warranties that you buy on the street. Because we have what's called our warranties are backed by the manufacturer. So if you buy a 2 or 3 year old certified Toyota, you 100,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty on your 2 or 3 year old Toyota, you're not getting somebody else's warranty. You're getting a Toyota warranty that is warranted by, not by ABC something, or, I see these ones online of all kinds of used car warranties you could buy for a couple of $1,000s and they don't cover nothing. The worst warranty I know in absolute existence is called Cars.com. I'm sorry, Cars Warranty. It's CARS with a period in between each letter. That is the worst warranty company on the planet. They've been sued more times than, than anybody. But taking that into account, buy a vehicle at a manufactured store, that's why it's so much better, because you're getting a real actual warranty. You're getting a Fidelity warranty. You're getting you're getting a Ford, a General Motors, or something that's going to back product. Okay, and it doesn't matter what you buy. Whatever warranty we're going to sell you is a manufacturer warranty, and we're the ones that can do that. You can't do it at a credit union. You can't do it at a bank. You can't do it at CarMax or any of those other places. Those are all made-up warranties that are backed by them. Have a 98.5% pay rate when it comes to warranty claims. Our industry, when it comes to dealerships, we turn down less than 2% of the claims. You know why? Because number one, we want to pay them. Because what happens if you bring your car into service, your used car that you bought at our store, and then your car's supposed to be under warranty, you just spend a couple of $1,000s extra on a warranty, and then somebody comes and tells you, oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, your alternator went out because your fan belt broke, but your fan belt's not covered. So because your fan belt broke and that's not covered, even though you made your alternator go out, well, we can't cover the alternator. Sorry about that. It's going to be $6. That's what happens all across the board on all these warranties. We could care less. Your belt broke, great. We'll replace your belt. You're going to pay for the belt, but your alternator went out because your belt broke. We don't care. We're just going to fix it. Because now, if we don't give you any grief in fixing your car, what's going to happen? Next time you need another one, you're coming back here. You're not going to auto sales or CarMax or any of these places that will not cover your car. Because half the things you'll find out that you think are covered are not. And instead with us, not just us, Toyota, but universally in a franchise, like I said, we turn down less than 2%. On the other side of the fence, they turn down somewhere in the neighborhood of 44%. So there's a big difference between 2 and 44%, because they try to turn down half their claims. You know why? They don't have billions of dollars coming in the door on their warranties. We do. So we can afford it. And our main goal in selling you a warranty is not profit, to keep a relationship with the dealership. Because if we sell you a package for oil change and maintenance, we keep you coming back to the dealership to get your oil change and your maintenance done. If something goes wrong or you're under warranty and we fix it and it's easy, it just becomes a nice, easy transition all the way around. No headache for you, right? But if you the grain to something else, you end up with a ton of headaches. This way, in the used car market, we have a captive audience, and that is you. But it's to your benefit all the way around. I'll tell you a little short story. In 1994, Wayne Huizenga, who used to be the owner of Waste Management, he's a famous billionaire. He owned Blockbuster Video, all that stuff. He started AutoNation. But AutoNation was just a used car factory off of in Tampa, Florida. And it was 62 or 63 acres. He had thousands of used vehicles. The one mistake he made was he took the human factor out of it. He set all these cars up everywhere, set all these kiosks every place, and you walked up to a kiosk, you typed in the car that you wanted, and a lot guy brought the vehicle up for you, and then you had no salesperson whatsoever. You could test drive it on his test track. If you wanted to buy it, everything you did was electronic that way. He was ahead of his time. The problem is you can't take the human factor out of it. And in their first year, they lost $125 million. So after year 2, they closed and reopened it and bought new car franchises. So now, automotive retailer in the country, across America, and every salespeople, and every one of them operates the way we do, because they learned their lesson. You just can't take human factor out of this. That's why you are in this business. That's why you professional, and you're lucky working for the brand, which is Toyota, and you're working for the #1 store. So that's all pretty good place. The operate. So any questions or comments, please just shout them out. Yeah. About 15 minutes. Yeah, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, the question that John asked was, when you go out on a test drive, who determines how long you go on a test drive? It's really up to you and the customer. You're going to have a feel for it. There's no timeline. If you want to go on an hour test drive, go on an hour test drive. But you run out of shit to talk about, I can assure you that. So you're not going to talk about anything in the car in that particular. You build a personal relationship. You know, talk about friends, family, kids, whatever. Without being. Let go. They start up comments, whatever, answer their questions, but this is really a friend builds a personal relationship with. That's what. Yeah. Those time and the whole premise to this is we want the customers, not 99% is not good enough. Okay. So 100% is what we shoot for. And the reason why is we want to make sure that they have the best product demonstration they can possibly get. They can enjoy themselves on a test drive, and that they're dealing with somebody who's a wealth of knowledge in just the product that they're looking to buy. We don't want you to have in those people, but we want you to treat them like we were talking about in the beginning of training. Way to live, what we call dead at midnight. Bring back up. We're talking about dead at midnight is, you know, if you knew your closest family member was going to expire at midnight, how would you treat that person? And it was your responsibility from now to midnight. Well, most people would answer, you know, I'm going to treat them like royalty, treat them great. I'm going to, you know, love them to death. Well, we want you to have the same attitude with our customers. Is we want you to make sure that from the time you meet them to the time they leave, that they've enjoyed every second. And the only way that's going to happen is through transparency and decency and integrity. Like I said, your integrity is not for sale. So that's off the table. And you want to be transparent and open to them about everything. If you do not know an answer to a question, it's okay to say, hey, hang on a second, Mr. Customer. I'm not sure about that. And let me find out the answer for you. I'll be right back. Is that okay with you? And go find out the answer to their question. Don't put it off. Stop what you're doing and let's answer their question. Continue. This is all about customer service. If you do these steps correctly, do the presentation right, money is not going to be your issue. Because I'll tell you what, I'll pay for expertise. If I know something's going to be done right, going to be done the way I want it, I'm willing to pay for the expertise, especially. And or anything, and you run into somebody who's a computer genius or a TV genius, when you start getting into that person's conversation about whatever that product is that you're trying to buy, there's really nothing more fun than listening to them talk about all the different things about their product that's about to be yours. Think of how many times have you in your life have gotten bad service of one thing or another? And tell me, does it not suck all the way around? I mean, why would you want to be that person that gave that person that treatment or that bad customer service? You don't want to do that. Why? Because the better you are at the smallest details only makes you that much stronger as a salesperson. The stronger your presentation and the stronger your product knowledge and the stronger your inventory knowledge. All right, so here, can you guys see the screen? Right? See where it says the walk around presentation?
Only see you.
Not yet.
Hmm.
No.
I can only see you. That's it.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah. It's coming out.
Nothing up.
There we
Ready?
go.
So in the walk around, okay, steps 1 through 10. Guys, just a second, you can see. All right, so I'm just going to kind of go through that. Number at the hood, then you work around to the passenger front door, then the rear door, trunk, bed, cargo area, whatever you got is fourth. Fifth is the other set of rear doors. 6 is going to be the cockpit area, front door. You want to do about a 40-minute presentation is about average. If you go over that and you spend an hour, the more the better. And the biggest thing is to make sure that you're getting your customer involved. Okay, you get your customer involved in. So in other words, when you're the really part where they're going to be involved is like when you're under the hood, right? And you're going to take. I'm going to take Carson for example. Oh, there she is. Okay, snuck up on. Okay, so like with Carson, what a lot of salespeople do and don't make the mistake is they blow off all those kinds, and don't make that mistake. When you're dealing with somebody in a presentation, everybody gets the same presentation 100% of the time, whether they're male, female, they're 17, 18, whatever it is, just doesn't make it any difference at all. So what you want to do is say, hey, here's the dipstick oil. Let the customer put their hands in there, pull the dipstick out. Let them touch the oil cap and turn it. All different areas. Make the customer put their hands on it and participate in all the different areas. And the more that you, especially the guys, if the more information about horsepower, torque, warranty, all that stuff that you give a female, the better off you're going to be, the more that you're going to be trusted. Because we always in a and have made monstrous mistakes in that. If anything, a little more respect for the knowledge, okay, and spend as much time as you can. So especially when you get in the vehicle interior part, okay, make sure that they play with the car, they're fixing all the buttons and getting all that. So if you go over 40 minutes, it's not a big deal. It's actually sometimes better. And a 5 powertrain warranty. Make sure you turn to talk about my MPG is mile per is of the clients, percent of the time non-negotiable. This is so file. Hook up and download all their contact, all their information, and for some reason I think we could walk your inventory every single day. It's mandatory. This is not this is mandatory. You're to do, like I said, is you're going to walk the inventory. So the first 20 in training, it doesn't matter. You're gonna walk your inventory 3 times a day, more lunch. Your head down with that. Go look at these cars, see where the average Camry.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Don, if you can hear us, we lost you.
Has y'all's been cutting in and out for a while now too?
Yeah, and I gotta say, I
Yeah,
think
it has.
Zoom was better.
Yep.
I think it was too.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Zoom was better.
Zoom was definitely better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, when it's so pixelated, it makes it hard to pay attention because it's kind
Yeah,
of
for real.
I mean, I can deal with him cutting out a little bit, but yeah, when you can't see anything, that's not okay.
Yeah, and I think what somebody was saying yesterday, the reason that the Zoom messed up is because I think that meeting that he started didn't end up getting closed somehow, so you couldn't like rejoin it because it wasn't ever closed.
It's probably the case.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were clicking the wrong link.
I think he's back
Clicking older
though.
links.
Yeah, I see him again.
There we go.
My video hasn't been working this whole time though.
Yeah, we're all having technical difficulties, I think.
And I think too, if he's on the, hopefully he's not on the Wi-Fi that's like at the dealership, because there could be, 300 people on it.
I think he said that he was on that Wi-Fi because he was mentioning that the Wi-Fi was messing up. So
Yeah, it's either that room they're in or there's 300 other people on it.
Don, can you hear us?
I see his video popping back up and out, but it keeps
Yeah.
dead.
There's Dawn.
Can you hear us, Don? Guess not.
Yeah, I can see him now.
Yeah, I can see him.
All right, I can hear you now. Looks like we should be back.
There we go.
All right. Ali and Adam, if you guys can hear me, just wave your hands. Okay, cool. All right, just know that you're there. All right. So All right, so you guys missed the part all about your signing bonus and stuff, so we'll just skip that and just move on.
What?
So anyway, it's like I was saying, I forgot what the hell I was saying. Oh, yeah, 20 days. Here we go. All right, so let me get the share back on. Where are we here? Okay, can you see that now? Knowing your inventory?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. All right, so getting back to it is knowing your inventory, you're 321. So here's the whole point to it. This is a mandatory thing. It's not a option or whatever else. When you first come to work here, I don't care if you're in training or whatever else, you're going to walk your inventory 3 times a day. You're not doing it doing your projected hours. So if you're supposed to be here at 9 o'clock, you need to get here, punch in, 8:20, 8:30, grab yourself a cup of coffee, whatever it is that you're going to do, and start walking the inventory. You need to know where the used cars are. You need to know where all the different new cars are. You need to know where the trade-ins are. You need to know where the cars come in off the truck. I left the meeting. Where the hell did I leave the meeting? Can you all still see me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I just had the weird thing said I left the meeting. I'm the one. Where'd I go? Anyway, so when you do that, you're going to go in the morning for like a half hour. You're going to walk the whole layout of the lot. Then you're going to do it at lunchtime. Maybe you're going to eat and walk or whatever you got to do there. And then when you're getting ready to go home, when you punch out, go do it again. You need to do it every day for 21 days. You need to be regimented about it and don't cheat yourself. So for whatever reason, if you skip a day or you forgot or something happens, man, you got to start that all over because you need to create this habit. And then your second set of 21 days, you're going to do it twice in the morning and at dinner time. And then lastly, you're going to do it every day for the rest of your life. You're going to walk the inventory. Even if you get promoted, you become a manager, a finance manager, new car, used car, whatever else, because a lot of you will get promoted in this business. Don't stop walking the inventory because you cannot sell what you don't have. There's an old saying, you can't manage what you can't measure. This is part of the reason why. And stay off the computer and the internet because that is not your friend. That's going to do nothing for you but screw everything up. And the reason why is just like this. This is how the car business works. So let's say now I'm going to order some inventory, right? I want to order 20 Corollas. So I go to my order system at Toyota, bop, bop, bop. It's called Maps. I order 20 Corollas. As soon as the VIN numbers get produced, and they're not called VIN numbers, I keep saying that. It's called a VIN. It stands for Vehicle Identification Number. So it's not a VIN number. So anyway, when they punch in the VINs, they get assigned to the dealership that these are going to be your 20. Well, they get put into our computer system. And so now all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, all these fake cars show up on our website that says the picture's coming soon. Well, now, 2 weeks go by and now all of a sudden the truck shows up with all these Corollas. The Corollas get dropped off in the back. You see them, they got all the white stickers and tape on them. Now the mechanics, they peel the tape off. They have to do what's called a pre-delivery inspection. Sometimes they're back there a day, 2 days, 3 days. Now a guy comes by and he comes by twice a week and he takes pictures of the cars. Now he takes pictures and when he gets home at night, he puts them up on the website and then the next day it takes 24 hours for them to upload. Boom. Now the car's live on our website, 7, 8, or 9 days later. Well, guess what? You walked your inventory. You may have sold the car on the second day it was here. But the computer system doesn't know that because once you sell a car and it gets RDR'd, that can take 48 hours. So the computer is just a small representation of what we have. It's not an accurate representation. So if you go on the computer looking for cars, all you're doing is making mistake after mistake. That's why some of you may say it's archaic, but we do it that way. We absolutely walk the inventory 100% of the time. If you can't walk it and don't know it, you're not going to be in the business long because knowing your inventory is just as important as knowing your product knowledge. They both go in hand. Very, very important. Any questions or comments about that?
I have a question about it. if you can
Go
hear
ahead.
me. Okay.
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
So when we're walking around the lot, what are the specifics of the vehicles that we need to know? Just like their location mainly, or you know?
Whatever works for you. What I would do and what I always did, and this is a little trick, is I would look at the car, right? I would look at the car and I would read the window sticker, just the heading of the window sticker, and know that this is a Corolla SE. And then I would start identifying the vehicle by the type of wheels and if it had fog lights or didn't have fog lights. There's little differences between an LE and an SE or an XLE. So when you start figuring out those little differences, it doesn't matter what the equipment's inside. It's when you're walking that lot, you could almost spot, say, oh, there's a black XLE right there, because I could tell because of what the front bumper looks like, or if it has fog lights, or if it has a certain type of wheels. Or you know what, that's an LE because it has hubcaps, it doesn't have wheels. You're going to start knowing these identifying differences, so you could start counting cars in your head. You'll say, okay, well, there's 6 white Corollas, 8 white Corollas, whatever that number is. Just read the top half of the stickers and start looking at the body style of the car and start knowing what the differences are. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. That's clear.
So that's why you do that. So you start familiarizing yourself with all the different stuff. And that's not going to happen in the first week. It's going to take you 3 months to really walking it religiously every day you're here for those time frames to start really knowing where everything is. And when you become an inventory expert, you can pretty much write your own ticket. Success is all over you, because you'll know all the used cars that we have, all the new cars. You'll know what trade-ins came in last night. And that's only going to make you a better salesperson all the way around, because people think, for whatever reason, that because you're a manager that you make more money. That's not true. Okay. I mean, yeah, you're going to get promoted into different areas, but there are salespeople that make tons and tons of money. So I'm going to pull something up a second. Let me see if my website will allow me to do this. Try. Okay.
Our next guest broke a 44-year-old record when he sold 1,582 cars in 1 year last year. Ali Reda, known as the world's best car salesman, joins us now. All right, Ali, we don't have much time. Let's get straight at it. If I walk into your office or sit opposite you, I want to buy a car, what's the first thing you say to me?
Well, thank you, sir. First, thank you for having me on your show. I'm very grateful to be here. And we'd be sitting down just
Can y'all see this?
the big picture, finding out what's important to you, what's not.
No, we just see you.
Now,
Okay.
Joe, you say that the 2018 Equinox, the Chevy Equinox,
All right. Let me try it again.
Is it the YouTube video you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know about like for you guys when it shows up, but like there's this thing, it'll say like external link and then it'll say continue.
Yep.
Okay.
We can click it in the chat, Don, but it's not pulling up on your screen. We see you and then have it in the chat as well.
Okay.
That's,
Well, yeah, it's just our internet connection, I guess, is bad.
yeah, and that's why earlier I was asking to mute yours, because as we try and watch it in the chat video, it'll also have the audio from yours playing simultaneously with ours.
let's see. So I just sent you the YouTube link. So just to give you an idea of what I'm talking, y'all can see me and hear me again?
Yeah.
Just wave your hands. Okay. So, so I just sent you the link. This is a kind of a, he's not really a friend, but he's a good acquaintance of mine. This is a guy named Ali Reda. And Ali's been in the business for about 15, 16 years. It was 2019, not 2020. He had broke Chevrolet's record, but he broke it really worldwide. He sold personally. This is not fleet, lease, or extra help. He sold 1,582 cars. So just to give you an idea what that means, so you take 1,582 divided by 12, that's 131 cars a month, divided by 4.3. He basically sold 30 cars a day, divided by 5.5, or he sold basically 6 vehicles every single day. And he made almost $3 million. Okay? So, and you can see him because he broke Chevy's 15-year record. And the reason why we know him so well is because he used to hold the record. His name is Everett Knapp. He's about 85 years old now. He's held that record forever, and he sold over 1,400 cars. There are more people in this business that are millionaires that are selling cars than there are anything else. So when I tell you you have an uncapped, unlimited income, I really wasn't joking. Let's see. You guys can see the thing again? Screen?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why this is how you get there. And you'll find there's a lot of success stories out there, but those success stories belong to those individuals. You need to make your own. Can you see me again? Or did I disappear? Oh, you can't see me? Okay. David, you can see me? Okay. So anyway, knowing your inventory is so grossly important. Okay. So when I tell you, hey, you got to do it, you know, the 321s, take it to heart. It's the real deal. This is not something fictitious or whatever, or just something that has to do with training. This is the difference. This is the difference of you making it or not making it by knowing the inventory and knowing
Our
that.
next guest broke a 44-year-old record when he sold 1,582 cars in 1 year last year. Ali Reda, known as the world's best car salesman, joins us now. All right,
Where
Ali,
did
we
that
don't have
come
much time. Let's get straight at it. If I walk into your office or sit opposite you, I want to buy a car. What's the first thing you say
It's
to
not.
me?
Huh?
Thank you, Stuart. First, thank you
It's
for having
not.
me.
It's on one of your tabs. It's open to the right.
And we'd be
YouTube video.
then down, just kind of getting the big picture, you know, finding out what's important to you, what's not important to you, finding out your budget, and we'll match the right
Yep,
vehicle.
right there on top.
Now, you say that the 2018 Equinox, the Chevy Equinox,
might be the background
is
for the
your
YouTube
best
video.
seller.
Yeah, it's the tab is open for YouTube video, so it's playing
Sell it to me.
the audio.
Well, right now
It's on audio?
a brand new sleek design.
You gotta click on the tab, the YouTube video, and maybe pause the video.
New technology. So it's offering a lot of great features that's very beneficial for the consumer today.
That is not a very dynamic approach, sir.
Well, we need to make sure what the right vehicle for you is. So we're asking a bunch of questions when somebody comes in to find out what's important to them and what's not important to them, as far as budget and
Yeah, you start with the price, right?
I can't find it.
So, well,
Yeah, it's one of your tabs. Go once to the right, There's just one tab that has the video open
As salesmen are more
on your browser.
than we have been. For us to put you in the right vehicle is more important than anything.
No, more important than anything is that you make the sale.
Not necessarily anymore. Yeah, that's not the approach anymore. So sometimes not selling you the car may be the right thing to do.
Wait a second,
you know,
wait a second. You wait a second, Ali. Come on, you can't fool me. Wait a second.
Nope.
You were chasing that record.
Does somebody else have that
And
window
over
open
a
besides
fact
me?
that The guy whose record is very angry
You can
about.
just close the tab.
You're not going to turn down a sale because you think it's the wrong car for this particular customer. You're not going to do
I don't
that.
have any tabs open.
Stuart, that is a true statement. Yes.
When you had the share screen on,
Your Chrome
Yeah,
browser
your
on the
Chrome.
top right, it says YouTube Salesman.
yeah, close the tab.
Yeah, that's something that, we didn't set out to do, but something that happened and we're very proud of it. But, we're advisors, I'm here to solve automotive needs, not create new ones for you.
Okay.
Not create new problems.
Well, look, congratulations on breaking the record. That is an astonishing record to break. And if ever I'm in your area, I'll come in and see if I can pick up a shift.
I don't have any tabs
Ali
open.
Radar.
You're always welcome. Yeah,
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Can you use screen share again?
Son of a bitch. Okay, maybe it's done now. All right. I think that's over with.
Hey, question, Don. Say if a customer say they want an exact car. They say, I want this car right here, but you ask them for the budget, and their budget doesn't live up to the car they want. You have to tell that customer, like you said yesterday, say, well, sir, I can't really do much for you that car unless you want a higher, car payment. Is that something I would say?
Well, not exactly in those words. You can see me, Zach? Yeah?
I can see.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't say that. So that's something that's going to come on in the interview. Like we talked about, if you're talking to somebody and they're telling you they want to be at $300 a month and they're looking at a $30,000 car, you just got to be upfront with them and say, hey, that math doesn't work. It's not that I don't want to give you a $300 payment. Do the math yourself. Take 30,000 divided by 300, and we know we're $12,000 off on the low side. So we can't do that. You're going to have to, come up on your thinking as far as what you want in a payment if you really want to get this particular product. Because we don't have $20,000 worth of markup in cars. Nothing does. Okay? Oh. All right. So talking about the 321s, everybody got that pretty much down, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So next, once you get all your information put together, that means now you've come back from the service drive, you've done all the different things that need to be done. Okay. Now, you've done the silent trade walk around, you've picked out the car, you did your demo, you did all the steps that you're supposed to do. The next thing is you're going to go and do what we call touch desk, which means you're going to put all your information together, all the paperwork you got together, and now you're going to go up and see the sales manager up at what we call the tower of the sales desk. And once you get there, now you're going to tell them that all the deal is done, that basically everything is together. Now you're getting ready to present the facts and figures to the customer. But you have to be 100% prepared. All your stuff has to be complete, and you're going to learn the prospect in the two different, in your process in the two different stores on what you got to do. Okay. So you got to make sure your guest sheet is filled out. and all your stuff is in what's called the CRM. So don't forget, go to Car Research. It's car-research, and look it up on YouTube and look at the tutorial. And they're going to show you. We're going to learn that tomorrow. I'm going to be logged into it. I have to reset my password, so they're doing it for me. So you'll have all the information in there, okay? And then everything has to be in the CRM. Normally what we do is we put it together at the time we're doing the guest sheet, because a lot of it you can do off of your phone, because you're going to have an app and you can scan their license, type in the stock numbers, scan the VIN numbers of the cars. All that stuff is made to do things easier for you, just to let you know. Yes. Yeah, Car Research is what it's called. That's the name of our CRM. It's called Car Research. So you can take it in and write. It's usually car-research. And I think they have a new thing. It's called XRM or something like that. That's going to be the app. I'll find out what the app is, and so you guys can download it. Whether you have an Android or an iPhone, doesn't matter. Because you're going to get a username and password to it, so you'll know what it is, okay?
Right.
So make sure that everything's in there. You never let your customer leave the property until a manager has had an opportunity to talk to them. We got plenty of managers here, so that we have no shortage of them. So going back through these, you know, some of the questions going to come up. Where's your customer physically at? What does he think that you're doing here right now? What is the customer primary looking for in as far as the car? All the different questions: medium, light color, options. What's their hot button? What's their motivation of buying? Can they financially handle it? Have they shopped somewhere else? Is everybody here that needs to be here? Where were they hoping to stay around financially? Is there a trade-in? These are all the questions that are going to come up. So if you go to the sales tower and you're prepared, 100% prepared. Whoa. You guys got to mute yourselves. So you guys got to make sure that you're prepared. So all the information has to be in that CRM. The customers, all the customers' information, all the notes that you're taking, the trade information, the car that you're selling, your information, all that stuff has to be in there. And the easiest way to do it is just through the app. That's number one. That's the easiest format to be in. Okay? So make sure it's all in there. And the sales manager is going to want to know, hey, man, what's their hot button? You're going to tell them. Everybody has a hot button of some kind. Okay? You know, what is their, are they buying because they want safety? Are they buying for performance? Are they buying for luxury? Are they buying for status? Are they buying for their job, for their pleasure? Do they need a new vehicle? Whatever their situation is, you're going to find out multiple areas of what their hot button is, and their hot button is going to come down to one thing. Normally. So how people decide, it's 10% logic and 90% emotion. 10% logic and 90% emotion. So just remember that. Because when you start talking about that vehicle, people get emotional and they start enjoying themselves. Like, oh, wow. And they picture the car in their driveway, going on vacation, going out to dinner, whatever it is. They start figuring all that stuff out. What we call the basic ingredients is you and yourself, your professionalism and your knowledge is what's going to be the determining factor whether they buy a car or not. People always wonder, oh man, I gave that customer everything. You know, why did they leave? I don't understand why they left, why they needed to go somewhere else and go check out this product or that product. It's because of you, not because of the dealership. The dealership didn't do anything. It's a building. You know, your managers probably didn't do anything. The product, either they liked your product or they didn't like your product. But it always comes down to the salesperson, whether they like the person or not. And that you're the deciding factor, believe it or not. So these are the hot button. And kind of look them and think about them in your own way about yourself of what is your hot button? Is this something that you would be doing or not? Like so what would be a buying hot button of yours looking at the list? Safety? Absolutely. Because you're a mom. Exactly. So where is Mark? What would be a buying hot button for you? Interior? Oh, that's a good one. How about I can't see everybody anymore, but let's just say, how about Ali? Haven't heard from you today. What would be a a hot button for you?
Probably fuel economy and safety.
Fuel economy and safety. Okay. How about Lionel?
I would have to go with performance.
Performance? Okay. So when David, what about you, buddy?
For me, it's going to be probably safety, but also like the features. So like if it has Apple CarPlay, for example.
Okay. That's perfect. Trey, what about you?
Probably warranty, having peace of mind.
That's a good one. So all these are features that you could get here. That's the difference. All these are key features that you'll be able to get at this store. So what are reasons why people don't buy? Price, trade allowance, trade difference, cash investment, monthly budget, the term, all those are good financial questions, right? But the difference is it just could be you. And believe it or not, 9 out of 10 times it's their salesperson, because you skipped a presentation, you skipped the service department, you skipped one of these 12 steps, and then it comes down to basically you and their money, and you're going to lose. That's why it's so important that each one of these 12 steps is completely fulfilled in its detail. So one of the things we look at is to be enthusiastic. Find out the why nots. And once you get through these particular areas, you're going to understand this is not as difficult as you think. So who understands what our homework assignment is? David, can you give that to us?
The homework assignment for today, it's going to be the 2 more vehicles, right?
Yep, 2 more products for tonight.
Okay, 2 more products for tonight. It's going to be the, I guess, walking inventory, whichever dealership is going to be closer to you.
No.
Is that one of?
Well, I made it a suggestion that you should, but I would like all of you at whatever time frame to walk the inventory. Okay. Some of you Toyota of Houston and some of you Toyota of Katy to walk through the inventory and check it out.
So
kind of start
the 2 vehicles, that's mainly what I remember.
Yeah, that's it. Anybody know if there's a third?
We also got
Do a silent trading walk around.
Yeah.
Yes. You're gonna do a silent trade walk around on your own car.
Okay.
Okay, on your own car. That is your third homework assignment. Along with, I want you to watch these walk around videos again, and make sure you guys all get subscribed so I can count you. All right. Anything else?
I have a question, a little off topic.
That's all right.
So I haven't yet gotten a approval email yet, but I got some paperwork in late, so I assume that's why. But in terms of my situation, I'm 3.5 hours away. So when should I come in and plan to do the paperwork? Because once I go there, I'm pretty much staying there.
Adam, I'll double check, but I think I thought I might have saw you already clear, but I'll double check it. You did all your stuff, your drug test, all that stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, it's just a matter. It's probably cleared already. I just haven't dug on. But I'll let you know as soon as possible. When I get to my office, I'm gonna get on the program and look at the people that are left.
Okay, and also for that paperwork that needs to be filled out at the dealership, when does that need to be completed by? That's my main question.
That's got to be done right away, because once your complete paperwork is done, like matter of fact, everybody who I've already told you you're approved and you're hired, you should have your paperwork 100% complete. And I would appreciate if you could try and turn that into me tomorrow. If you haven't turned it into me yet, or don't have it, make sure your driver's license, social security card's in there, and I need to get them dropped off so I can start getting them processed. Okay.
Don. Hey Don, do you know if I'm still pending or not? Because I did my MVR. Like I said, we had
I have no idea. When I get to the office tonight, I'm going to pull everybody's up that is still pending, and I should be able to give you all an answer this evening. So today's Tuesday, so technically, because Mary was out all week, we're really just started yesterday, getting the approvals and getting everybody done.
How
I'll
late?
let you know as quick as possible, I promise. Aiden?
Yeah, I said, how late are you going to be at the DMV? I mean, the Toyota Center today?
We're going to be wrapping this up in about 5 minutes, and then I'll probably be here for about another 15. But if you come upstairs to the conference room, I've laid out the employee paperwork. You could come up here and take one of each one.
I already have the paperwork. I just want to turn it in, but I'm like a 30-minute drive, so I don't think I'll be able to make it to you today. So I'll just turn it in tomorrow then, because I already got the email of approval.
Oh, if you want to do that, Aiden, if you want to come in at lunchtime and drop it off and then stay here the rest of the day, you could do that.
Okay, cool.
It's up to you. And anybody else who has their paperwork wants to drop it off, whether it's in the morning or at lunchtime, is fine by me.
I have a question as well. I think you kind of mentioned the CRM that we're using. Is that something? Is it an app that we can download or anything like that, or what is it?
Yeah, the CRM is an app. You're going to be using it on your computer. And just to let you know, you could use if you want to bring your own tablet or laptop here to the store, they have no problem with it. But you're going to have an app on your phone. And it's everything we do, just so you guys know, everybody, everything we do is web-based. So everything we do is web-based. There's nothing downloadable. Everything's web-based. So everything you're going to get programs here, you're also going to have them all. You can have them all on your phone, your laptop, your tablet, whatever you want. Okay.
There's a video that we could watch to start getting familiar with them.
Yeah, that's why I said go to YouTube and look up car research, and it'll be on car research.
Car research. Okay, thank you.
Just a question, Don. I need leave the social, the copy of the social and the drive license.
Yes.
When exactly?
I would need it. I'm trying to get it as soon as possible. So.
Okay. I can leave when the meeting ends after 4.
Yeah, as soon as the meeting's over with. As soon as the meeting's over with, you could, if you have your paperwork already ready, put everything in a folder for me and come drop it off.
Okay, I can leave in the front desk.
No.
Okay.
No. You got to come up. You have to hand it to me, which you can do in the morning. I get here between 8 and 8:15, and we start the meeting at 9. But I already have 1, 2, 3, 4. I already have one person too many. I can't anybody else.
I don't have problem with. I leave the paper in the office and come back because I'm near. I'm really, really, the distance is short.
What you could do is if you get here before 5 o'clock, you could possibly, I'd rather you give the stuff to me, okay? Because I have to keep control of it. So you could give it to me in the morning, you could give it to me at lunchtime, or you could give it to me after work. And Adam, because of your situation, once you're approved, I'll tell you, you could come, if you're gonna come down and pick up your paperwork and all that stuff, and you gotta go back for a day, it's not a problem. You could probably do it here and we could process you while you're here before you go back for a day or two. So we'll figure your.
Once I'm there, it's not a problem because I'll be living with a friend that's 10 minutes away. So.
All right, that's fine. The rest of you guys just, hopefully I'll get everybody's approval finished today. Just, we'll figure out getting the paperwork done and everybody done. I'd like to try to get all the employee packs back by tomorrow. So if I have to stay here a little later to wait for you to come here and drop the stuff off, that's fine. But we'll figure that out. Okay?
Don.
Yeah.
Don, the day of the interview, I leave my license, my drive license, the copy. You need the back, the copy of back, or all of them?
Forget anything that you gave me that goes into a different area. I need a copy of your driver's license and social security card on one piece of paper together with the paperwork that you're going to return to me. Remember, those of you who picked up paperwork, the handbook you keep. You give me the last 2 pages of the handbook that are supposed to be signed and sent to me. Okay? That you'll see 2 signature pages. I need those papers back, the thick white packet back, and the blue paper back. And then I need a W-9 and a W-4 sign. And a lot of you picked up a packet don't have the W-9 or W-4, which you can fill out and do here. It's not an issue.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, Don, if I was approved today, I can, what time will you leave? If you approve me today. If I was get approved, what time would you leave?
Zach, I can't hear a word you were saying.
So I said, are you doing the packet today?
Yeah, I've already given out packets to people, but if your approval comes in tonight, you could pick up a packet tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and still turn it in tomorrow too. You just have a little bit less time. Worst case scenario, we'll get it done Thursday, but Mary's pretty quick at getting this stuff together, so. Anything else before we leave? No. All right, guys. I'll send out the link for tomorrow, but it should be the exact same one that works all week. Okay? But it should be the same. Otherwise, I will send it by email and I will send it by text like I did today. All right? So guys, do your homework, be good, be safe, and I will see you in the morning.
Do we still need